Alrighty. How is it going, chat? Oh man. Welcome back to another live stream. This is gonna be another short one, um, because I'm gonna be busy. I plan on doing like I think one or two more streams before I have to head back to college this weekend. So, but yeah, hello Lux. All right, so here what we're gonna do. This is the second year I'm gonna be doing this. I did it before I went to college. Well, it wasn't college, but I went back to school. But I'm filling out my Super Bowl, NFL playoff bracket. I did the same thing last year. I went and filled out my playoff bracket. Then I only had like I think one game wrong on the AFC side that year. I think Chargers beating the Texans that year, and then yeah, I had the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Um, this better be better than last year. The only I think I had like no, I think I had like 3 or 4 games. I had 3 games wrong. I think the Chargers game. I think Chargers Texans I got wrong. I got the Lions. I got the Buccaneers game. Washington Buccaneers game I got wrong. I got the two Lions games wrong. I got 2 Lions games wrong. Yeah, I got Lions wrong. But yeah, hopefully I know ball. This season's been really weird this year, but yeah, this season's been so weird. This has been one of the most fun seasons to watch. Cause like literally you don't know. The thing is, the Carolina Panthers are in the playoffs, and my Lions aren't. This is so sad. Anyways, yeah. Um, but yeah, we have ourselves a bracket here. I could tell you some of these teams I did not expect to be in the playoffs, such as Panthers, um, Bears, Seahawks maybe, but I could definitely say Jaguars, Patriots, uh, but maybe Steelers. But yeah, some of them are just new. I didn't expect them to get in. So this should be a fun playoff bracket, to fill out, and we'll see. I may just be completely dead wrong, or I may be NFL, but or may just have the script. Who knows? But yeah, let's go on, get started. So let's start off on the AFC side. We're gonna start off with this one here and here. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Houston Texans. Now, I did watch the Baltimore and Pittsburgh game. Pittsburgh barely got in by the skin of their teeth. They were one field goal away from not being in the playoff position. I mean, honestly, I would if you're the Texans, I'd rather face the Pittsburgh Steelers than the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, Baltimore and Pittsburgh both have consistency issues, But, like, obviously, Baltimore couldn't get it done. The Steelers just somehow find a way. Mike Tomlin is just a wizard. He just finds a way to get either 9-8 or 10-7, sneak into the postseason just get bounced in the first round. But yeah, Houston's one of the best defenses in the entire league, if not the best defense in the entire league. I mean, I'd say they're up there with Denver with one of the best defenses. But yeah, I'm thinking in this game, I'm going with the Houston Texans. I think the Texans are just a much better team, and I think they're gonna. Well, I wouldn't say better. I think this is the defense is just gonna shut down Aaron Rodgers, and I think the Houston offense is just gonna do enough. I mean, Houston offense hasn't really been as explosive as I would like it to be. I mean, C.J. Stroud. I mean, I know they had some O-line issues, and they have had some offensive inconsistency, but I think it's enough still to beat the Steelers. But yeah, Houston. I have Houston going to move on. Next up, we have the 6 seed Buffalo Bills taking on the 3 seed Jacksonville Jaguars. Loki, this is probably one of the worst spots you could be in for Buffalo. Because, like, I mean, Josh Allen has not had a good history on the road. But, I mean, on the road in the playoffs, I mean, I think there's a few times he was on the road, he went to Kansas City. And Kansas City, Mahomes always put him out. But I think this is probably the most wide open year Josh Allen's probably going to get to winning a ring. But they're going to be going up against the Jaguars, which I think the Jaguars are actually. I mean, I know Houston's kind of a dark horse, but Jacksonville has been actually looking really strong this year. I mean, this is and I think this is one of the big years. I can't believe it, with a year one head coach and Liam Cohen unlocking Trevor Lawrence's potential, and the Jaguars defense is playing really good. I think it's just. I don't think the Bills have enough this year. I think this is one of the weakest rosters Josh Allen has been in. And I think I'm just going to take with the hot hand on this one. I don't see the Bills being able to pull off an upset against I don't see the Bills going into Jacksonville and beating the Jaguars. I don't think Josh Allen has the team to do it. I think they're relying way too much on Josh Allen to be Superman. I'm moving this one to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, I'm going with the Jaguars in this one. Next up, we have the 7 seed Chargers taking on the 2 seed New England Patriots. Yeah, I think this is similar to what I'm thinking last year. I mean, yeah, I think last year they were playing Houston team that was really inconsistent. But the thing is like, we have If-Man. Justin Herbert has a horrible track record in the playoffs. I mean, that dude cannot win a playoff game to save his life. I mean, at least Trevor Lawrence has won one playoff game. Herbert can't even do that. And he's going up on the road to a cold environment in New England, and they're going to have to play the Patriots and Drake May, which are hot right now. I think that the Patriots is just going to rock the Chargers. Hello, Extreme. Welcome to this Exultant. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I think the Patriots are gonna sweep the Chargers, and they're gonna move on to the divisional round. Now we got the NFC side, which we're gonna start off with the watching Beast games right now. That's cool. Yeah, we're going to start the next one. They got the 5 seed Los Angeles Rams taking on the 4 seed Carolina Panthers. I know what a lot of people are gonna say is that this game is probably going to be an ass beating because the Rams just walk into Carolina and beat the living crap out of the Panthers. I mean, they're an 8-9 team and they squeaked into the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, Carolina is playing with house money. They're not really looking for a Super Bowl. They just wanted to get a better year. They wanted to get better and progress every year. I don't think this is Carolina's year, but it'll definitely be, it'll be up for them next season. I think this is just the playoff berth is good enough. I think they've overexceeded expectations this year. Plus, they managed to beat the Rams in the regular season. So Carolina has had some big wins, but also really bad losses. They barely squeaked into the playoffs. I'm gonna go with the hot hand. I'm gonna go with one of the best teams in the NFL. I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going with the Rams to win the wild card round. Next up, The 6 seed San Francisco 49ers taking on the 3 seed Philadelphia Eagles. This is such a tough one. This is one of the tough games for me to predict. Because on one hand, I'm sitting on the fence. Because I'm thinking either Philadelphia, because Philadelphia's got a really good defense. It's just their offense can't do anything. And then we also have the 49ers, because the offense for the Eagles could just let them down, and then they could just get torched. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with this one. 49ers suck. They're not bad. I mean, they got shut down by Seattle's defense. Seattle's got one of the best defenses in the league, but so does Philly. I don't think 49ers have enough momentum. Sure, Shanahan could pull off some BS magic. And Shanahan could just go beat the defending Super Bowl champions in Philly. I do see that as a possibility. But I wouldn't be surprised if the San Francisco 49ers walk into Philly and upset them. Because I think the last time they played in Philly, when San Fran went to Philly, and that was the regular season 2023, and the Niners put belt to ass. But that was when they had a lot of their starters. But this year, I think they're just too banged up. I think Philly's gonna rock them. Gimme Philly in this one. And yeah, we have the 2 seed, and now in the last wild card game, we got the 7 seed Green Bay Packers taking on the 2 seed Chicago Bears. Division. This is going to be one of my favorite games, because this is 2 division rivals going at it. They're gonna battle it out, and yeah, both of these teams. Packers kind of look checked out, but Bears, they haven't looked very consistent as of late. They just lost to my Lions. I'm more worried about their defense than their offense. Ben Johnson is a wizard. But yeah, I would say this: I did not go into this playoff bracket thinking there wasn't going to be an upset in the wild round. Give me Green Bay. Give me Green Bay to upset the Chicago Bears, and give me Green Bay to upset Chicago and go on to go as the 7th seed. 7th seed Merchant Powers just go in. They knock off the Chicago Bears. I think the Bears are just too... I think the Bears and the Funny Mike. Well, I don't have it on. I didn't put it on the stream. I mean, they could play anywhere. I know they beaten Philly, but I just don't see them as consistent. They barely beat a banged-up Packers team last time they played. But this is the 3rd time they're playing each other, and it's for the marbles. But, yeah... I think Chicago is just too inexperienced, too young, and I think they're going to get bounced in the first round. I'm just saying. I think it's going to be similar to how it's not going to be as embarrassing as it would be the Dallas Cowboys, that Cowboys-Packers game 2 years ago in the playoffs, but I still think the 7 seed Merchants and the Green Bay Packers are going to somehow, are just going to pull it out. They're going to beat Chicago, and they're going to move on to the divisional round. All right, now it's time for the divisional round. So we're gonna start off with the AFC side. So we're gonna see we got the 5 seed Houston Texans taking on the 1 seed Denver Broncos. Now, I'm very conflicted. You got 2 of the best defenses in the league and 2 of the most mid offenses you could play. It all depends on... I could see this game going either way. Because it's like Denver could just somehow... Denver could squeak it out, or Houston could squeak it out. I don't know who to pick. Because it's like... I don't think Denver... Because Denver has had some ugly wins. They barely could score touchdowns against the backup Chargers. But the biggest thing is if they're winning. And they've had some impressive wins. I think they went into Philly and beat them. And then they beat Green Bay with Micah Parsons. But the thing is like when a team like Jacksonville, who's really hot going into the playoffs, and they beat them, that's when I feel like their limit is around. But yeah, Denver. This is a tough game. But you know what? Starting off this round with an upset. Give me Houston. Give me Houston to advance to the championship game. Give me Houston to go upset the number 1 seed Broncos and move on to the championship game. Give me Houston. I think Houston's just going to complete more. I think Bo Nix is going to get rattled by that Texans defense. That Texans defense is really good. And I think C.J. Stroud is going to barely be able to pull it out. I wouldn't be surprised if they win by a field goal. But, yeah, give me Houston to upset the Denver Broncos, and they're going to go move on to the championship game. Now, we're going to start off. Now we're going to look over here. We've got the 2 seed New England Patriots taking on the 3 seed Jacksonville. We got the 3 seed Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the 2 seed New England Patriots. This is another tough game because I could see this going either way. I could see it go Jaguars. Jaguars could go into Gillette Stadium and beat Drake May, or Drake May could just absolutely rock the Jaguars. I don't think there's any between. But this is so tough. This is actually so tough to pick who I think is going to go to the championship game between these two teams. Jaguars, Patriots. I like the Patriots, but do you they haven't? I think they've been benefited off their schedule because it's like the biggest teams they've really played this year is Baltimore and Buffalo. Baltimore has not looked good, and Buffalo has not looked, and they've split with Buffalo. I mean, they've won big games, sure, but it's tough. You know what? Give me Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to be able to. I think Trevor Lawrence is just going to pose his will. He's going to knock off the 2 seed. And I think he is going to go. I think that the Jaguars are going to advance to the championship game. That's my prediction. I think they're going to go to the championship game. So, because I feel like it's just Drake May. I think I need one more year on Drake May before I could be able to put him into get the experience before I could get more on them next year. But yeah, let me see them play a harder schedule next year, and I'll probably pick the Patriots to go maybe to the Super Bowl, depending on how they do next year. But yeah, I think the Jaguars beat the Patriots. They're gonna go host the AFC Championship game. Now we're gonna now go to the NFC side, where we have the 7 seed Packers versus the 1 seed Seattle Seahawks. Now, we've already had one seed upset in this divisional round. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Green Bay would be lucky to win one playoff game. However, I will not be shocked if the Packers end up facing the Seahawks. I would not be surprised if they kept this game close. I think it's just, for some reason, I feel like it just takes a bit for Seattle to adjust. It's similar to how they played San Francisco. And I think it's going to go similar to how they played San Francisco in 2023, where they almost beat them. But I think it's just the Seattle team is just way too good. I need to see, this is year 2 of Sam Darnold in the playoffs. I think he's going to get over it. I'm going to pick the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Packers. I think they're going to beat them. I think if Packers go and the spread is out, I'd take Packers spread. I think Packers are going to keep it close somehow, some way. But yeah, Seattle, they're going to go to the championship game. Now we have ourselves a rematch of the last 2 years, because this is another divisional round. And so yeah, this is our divisional round rematch. We have the Los Angeles Rams, the 5 seed Los Angeles Rams, taking on the 3 seed Philadelphia Eagles. This is a tough one, because I really think Philly has had the Rams number, but I also feel like the Rams just choked on that one game, because they had that game in the regular season where they played Philly. They almost beat them, and I'm telling you, if it didn't snow in that Philly game last year, then Rams probably would have won that game. But honestly, I feel like this is going to be the time the Eagles just get bit. I think the Eagles are just going to get bit. I think they're going to find Rams finally getting over their demons. I'm picking the Rams and Matthew Stafford to go to the NFC Championship game. I'm thinking the Rams are just too good of a team to get bounced by a Philadelphia Eagles team who's been up and down this year, and I think it's going to bite them in the ass in that game. I think Rams, good team. Matthew Stafford's cooking. I'm taking them, and I'm taking them into the championship game. Now, yeah, here we are. We have ourselves our championship, my championship matchups. We got Jaguars taking on the Texans, and then we got the Seahawks taking on the Rams. Now, this is probably going to piss off some people, but we're going to start off with the championship, AFC Championship. Jaguars versus Houston. I feel like this is another one. This is going to be a very different game. I'm conflicted because this is the divisional matchup. I remember Jaguars choked hard in that one game, but Davis Mills was their quarterback for the Texans. I feel like I'm so conflicted because I can very much see the Texans win this. I can very much see the Texans winning this game, but I feel like the inconsistency is going to bite them. I'm thinking this is going to be a time. Yep, you see that right. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars as my AFC pick to go to the Super Bowl. I'm picking Jacksonville as my Super Bowl, as one of my Super Bowl picks. It picks to go to the Super Bowl. I think Jaguars are just on a run. I think they're hot. I think they're going to get ready to go. Liam Cohen, I feel like Jacksonville is just way too good of a team. I think they're going to just exercise their demons, knock Houston out, go to the Super Bowl. That's my prediction there. And now we have ourselves the NFC Championship game. A rematch, a divisional round. Both championship games are actually division rematches. The 5 seed Los Angeles Rams taking on the 1 seed Seattle Seahawks. I am so split. Because, you have the Seahawks, who's been really good. They have split with the Rams this year. They went to LA. They lost because Myers can't kick when it matters. And then we have the Rams, and then we have the other game where it was just shootout. Seattle made that crazy comeback, beat the Rams then, and just pulled some magic. Now we have ourselves a rematch. Remember, Seattle has never lost with a 13-3 record and never lost. So, now we have ourselves 2 hot teams going into the playoff, going to host the championship game. The only thing is, this is a huge loss for the 49ers because one of these teams, I think, are going to the Super Bowl. And the 49ers are going to have to watch them play in their stadium in the Super Bowl. What a sight to see. But yeah, one of these teams are going. I'm conflicted because Seattle has played really well, and they've looked like a championship team. But you know who else has also looked like a Super Bowl team? Rams. Have there been? They were legitimately 1 seed at some point. A couple times, Rams were 1 seed. The only times I've seen them play really bad games was that Panthers game and that Falcons game. Those are the main 2 games I've seen where Matthew Stafford did not have a good game. I think, and Rams lost to Carolina. Yes, they did lose to Carolina. And I think this is going to be a classic Sean McVay game. We'll see. I think, you know what? I'm just saying, give me the Rams. Give me the Rams to upset the Seattle Seahawks, go to the Super Bowl. Rams, I feel like, just have more experience. I think they're too good to lose again to the Seahawks. I think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl. I think there's just Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I think Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, I think they're just way too good of a team to fall short. I don't think Sam Darnold is going to be able to will his team to the Super Bowl. I don't. Because Sam Darnold, if I see him win a Super Bowl, if I see him go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, I'll take back everything I said about Darnold. But I just don't think Seattle's ready. I don't think Seattle's ready for the Super Bowl yet. I think Seattle is just needs. I think Seattle needs another year. I think Seattle needs another year. I just don't think it's enough for them to. I don't think. I mean, enough. I think it's just they're gonna fall short. The Rams have. I think it's just this is another rematch. I think Rams is just gonna take this one because the Rams, if they had Seattle haven't pulled off that massive comeback, Seahawks would have been gotten swept. And it's not like the Rams even played that bad of a game. It was just Seattle came back. But I think it's just the Rams, I think, are too good. They've been more consistent, in my opinion. There have been times where I've seen the Seahawks have had bad games, a.k.a. that Phillip Rivers Colts game, where they only won by field goals. But there's also been games where like they've looked like actual Super Bowl team. But, yeah, I just think this is not an offense to... I mean, this is not to say that the Seahawks are bad. I just think they're too inexperienced against a Rams team who has been consistently in the playoffs, who's been to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. I just think the more experienced, I think it's just Rams are just hotter. I think the Rams are just a hotter, better team. I'm going with the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. And so now we get on to my Super Bowl pick. So, to where we have the 5-seed Rams and the 3-seed Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think this is going to be where Cinderella runs end. One of these Cinderella runs are just going to go down. I think that we have Jacksonville has had a great season. Rams also had a great season, and they have an MVP candidate in Matthew Stafford. And the Jaguars have just been huge games. Nobody would have expected the Jaguars to make the playoffs. Probably would have been Houston. Nobody expected the Jaguars would be this good. And I'm high on Jacksonville. I really am. But there only can be one winner. Who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl? I think this would be a low-key entertaining Super Bowl. Jacksonville's first time going to the Super Bowl. And then, because think in mind, Jacksonville has not won a Super Bowl. In franchise history, they've never won a Super Bowl. I don't know if they even been. I don't think they've ever been to a Super Bowl. So, I'm thinking, in this game, who do I think is going to win? Because you want to know what this reminds me of? The Super Bowl 56. Super Bowl 56. Where the Rams went to the playoffs. They went and won the Super Bowl. They went to go to the Super Bowl. Hosted the Cincinnati Bengals, who had never won a Super Bowl, and going in. I think this is going to be a repeat of the 2021 Super Bowl. And that just gave away my pick right there. Because you want to know who won that Super Bowl? The Rams. I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams, Matthew Stafford, to get another ring. I think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. I think the Rams are just the team. In my opinion, I think they're going to go and win the Super Bowl. That is my official prediction. I think the Rams, they're just too good. I think Matthew Stafford is an MVP candidate. I think Puka Nacua is an absolute stud. I think their defense is great. I think Kyren Williams is awesome. I think Devontae Adams is great. Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the league. And no offense to Jacksonville. Jacksonville has had an unbelievable year. But I think it's just the Rams. I think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. I got the Rams as my pick to win the Super Bowl. You got to glaze them more. Jeez, I already glazed your team enough. I already glazed Seattle. But I just think that Rams are just too good. I think the Rams are good. If they get bounced out, I will take all those words back. But, I mean, I'm glazing the Rams because they've earned it more than I think I would say the Jaguars have. Because, like, literally, they've been playing good almost all year. The only times that I've seen them ever have bad games is that Carolina and Falcons game. And every time they've had a bad game, they bounce back. And I think it's just I feel like the more experienced team is just gonna win the Super Bowl. The I think the Rams are just too good. And the thing is, I know a lot of people would probably have Seattle to go win the Super Bowl. I would glaze Seattle a lot more. The only problem is I need to see them in the playoffs. I need to see their experience. I need to see their playoff hopes. I'm going with a more experienced team. That's why I'm much more confident in them than I'm much more confident than in Seattle. Seattle's good. Don't get me wrong. Seattle's one of the best teams in the NFL. But yeah, and but I just need to see the playoffs because remember the last time Sam Darnold was in the playoffs. That was last year in the 14-3 Minnesota Vikings team who got belt to ass by the Rams. Puka only trash talks, to be honest, and Stafford is needed for a trade. They need a new head coach and OC. But I mean, this is probably if this is Stafford's last year. People were talking about how Stafford was having having back problems, and he was just gonna retire, and so they sent. But I mean, the dudes look fine. He's currently in the running for an MVP. And Puka only trash talks. He trash talks, but have you seen his catches? all his catches are just sent. If you see his catches, that just says enough of how good Puka is. And even in the trash talks, where he trash talks about the refs, if he trash talks about the refs, he's actually kind of got a point. Because literally, talking about how bad the refs were, watching that Carolina and Tampa Bay game, literally reminded me of just how Puka Nacua just was talking shit about the refs. That was funny. And have you seen his tweets? I have not seen his tweets, but like tweets don't show how good of a player he is. You could talk if you want to talk about tweets, then freaking Lamar Jackson shouldn't even be a good player. That's my point. But yeah. Anyways, that is my Super Bowl bracket. I think and Rams are my Super Bowl pick. And again, I may have the script or I might just be an absolute casual. But since I wouldn't be surprised if I'm a casual because this season has been really weird. And I do expect there to be an upset. I do expect there to be an upset somewhere in each of the rounds. I think there's going to be at least one upset. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my picks. I got Rams and Jaguars in the Super Bowl. And Rams win the Super Bowl. But, anyways, I'm going to cap this off here. Yeah, we'll see how this ages. This might age extremely poorly. And I might make another stream talking about the wild card games when I'm up in college. So, that should be fun to talk about. And yeah, we'll see what happens. If Carolina upsets the Rams in the playoffs, and I take everything back. But the thing is, if I think my second pick, if the Rams were to get put out, would be Seattle. I think Seattle would be I think the second team I think would go win the Super Bowl would be Seattle if it wasn't for the Rams. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much watching the stream, and we'll see how this bracket ages. I'll see you.